Hi, how are you? This is Kieran, head coach of the Fundamental Body, and you're very welcome to this online training video. So this video is for women who are looking to transform their body. Those of you that are looking to perhaps lose some weight, tone up, increase strength, feel a little bit better, move a little bit better, and maybe just increase your health and your energy levels all around. The same problems appear time and time again when it comes to women and when it comes to training, mindset, and nutrition. So this video is going to break down training, mindset, and nutrition into a simple step-by-step process that you can clearly understand exactly what it actually takes to get the body that you want. I'm going to separate what works from what doesn't work into a clear format. So just before we get into all the really sexy stuff about training and nutrition, there's something really important that you must do first. And that's understanding exactly where you are and where you want to be. Okay, so these are knowing your point A's and your point B. If you don't know where your starting point is and you don't know where your finishing point is, you'll never know how to actually get to where you want to go. And this is the most overlooked aspect any woman has in trying to achieve the body that they actually want. They don't know what the body they want actually is. They have no clear path, they have no clear plan, and they don't know what's going to stop them from getting to A to B. And what you have is something like the top of this picture with the squiggles from A to B. You go round and round and round in circles, and in the majority of the cases, you don't actually get to where you want. So again, what we're going to learn in this video is how to get from point A to point B in the quickest and most efficient way possible. So what does your point A look like? This is where you are right now, okay? Your current situation. You've got to know how you're feeling about yourself to understand what you want to get away from. So maybe you're uncomfortable with your weight, maybe you don't like what you see in the mirror, maybe you're sick and tired of this like binge eating behaviors and having no control around food. Maybe you're sick and tired of feeling sluggish, having no energy, and like being out of breath when you reach the top of the stairs. Maybe you just don't have any time for yourself. You feel like you can't fit this stuff in. Whatever, everyone's point A is going to look a little bit different, but there's going to be similarities as well, okay? I've been here with similar issues and some completely different issues as well. Everyone has a starting point where they have to say that enough is enough and you have to make a change. And these are known as your push factors. Okay, and this is what's going to drive you towards where you want to go. With your pen and paper, write this stuff down now. Okay, how do you feel about your body? The more detail you can go into this, the better. And you'll actually dramatically improve your chances of making a lasting change and reaching the goal that you want. How do you feel about yourself right now? Which part of your body annoys you the most? And the real reason that you want to get to this goal. Why do you want to get there? Okay, so losing weight, but why do you want to lose that weight in the first place? Okay, this can be really tricky to get your head around because sometimes it does take time and it does take a process of trying to understand yourself. But trust me, the more in detail that you can understand why you want to do it, why you want to get to your goal, well, then the greater your chances of success. So let's cut off all the surface BS and go a little bit deeper and uncover the real reason of why you want to change. Let's take a look at what your goal looks like now. What does it feel like to be at point B? So really imagine yourself of you after going through the whole process and you end up at this end point. What does that feel like? Are you in better shape now? Are you a certain weight? Do you have more energy? Are you consistent with your food? Are you stronger? Maybe your goal was to increase your performance, whether in the gym or a 10K or a marathon. Is the goal Is it having more confidence and feeling attractive? Okay, so again, this is really, really powerful stuff. And the more clear you can get with this and what exactly your point B looks like, the more chance you have of succeeding because you know where you want to go. Imagine you got into a car. You jumped into the car. You knew where your point A was, so you knew where you were getting into the car. But imagine you didn't even know where you were going. So you don't know what your point B is. So how are you ever actually going to get there in the first place? You're just going to drive around in circles. And I know this stuff can seem at times like a little bit airy fairy or wishy-washy, whatever you want to call it. But it's really, really powerful stuff. Find out what your pull factors are. What are the positives and the benefits of achieving the goal that you want to achieve? How do you feel now? The only way you can tell then on whether or not you're getting closer to your point B is by measuring your progress. Most women want to look toned and they want to look lean. So a toned, lean body on a woman will mean that you'll have a body fat percentage of about 17 to 25%. Okay, your body fat percentage is the amount of body fat that you carry in comparison to your whole weight. And that's why weighing scales are so bloody pointless. Okay, the key to measuring your success is two main things when it comes to changing your body composition and the way you look. The first one is you've got to measure the amount of fat on you, your body fat percentage, and the second one is taking pictures. The progress measurement is not the scales. The scales is a number of your whole entire weight. It amazes me the mindset most people have in that like most women want to look better, yet they don't actually take any pictures to see if they are looking better. They go by a scales instead, which is telling them how much their bone weighs, their skin weighs, their organs weigh, their fat weighs. It makes absolutely no sense if you think about it logically. The scales is a number that's pretty much insignificant when it comes to measuring your progress. Okay, and another thing that we got to know is how long it's going to take. So let's give you guys an idea on how long it's going to take to get to your point B. On average, if you're doing everything right, so what I'm going to show you in the upcoming slides, if you do all of this stuff correct, you're going to lose about 0.5% of body fat per week. Okay, so what that means is if you're currently starting out at 35% body fat and you wanted to get lean and toned, that was your goal, and that comes at 25% body fat, well then it's going to take you approximately 20 weeks to get there if you're losing 0.5% of body fat per week. Okay, and that's if weight or your body fat percentage loss is linear. Every week you're losing 0.5%, which doesn't always happen exactly like that. And the reason why we're doing a realistic time frame is that it cuts out the want to do these ridiculous detoxes or quick fixes in 3 and 4 or 5 weeks. Okay, the reality of it is if you want to lose 10% of your body fat, it's going to take you about 20 weeks, which is coming close to half a year. So that's why it's important that we start building in habits, that we start changing who you are and stop going for these quick fixes. So what this slide is showing you is that there's different body fat percentages of women. So if you can point out the body fat percentage that you think you are at now, so what picture looks like you the most now, and maybe the body that you want, and it'll give you some sort of an idea of what percentage you want to go from and go to. After this video, what I'm also going to do is I'm going to send you the Fundamental Bodies body fat percentage calculator to give you an even more accurate reason. All you need is a tape measure and a calculator and you can get a point of where you're starting from. And the last thing before we get into the deeper stuff about training and nutrition is that you have got to identify the barriers that keep you from getting to your point B. So what we've discussed so far is highlighting what your point A is. How are you feeling right now? Why do you want to get away from there? You know now what your point B is, and the benefits and the positives and the life-changing experience that you're going to get if you get to your point B. And you've also know now, and after using the body fat calculator later on, you'll know what exactly your body fat percentage is, and you'll know the importance of taking pictures for progress and using your body fat percentage as a guide of success rather than a scales. The last thing that you need to know now is what has stopped you, or what do you think will stop you from getting to your point B. Okay, these are generally things that have stopped you in the past, and it's the same things that will come up time and time again that will reduce your success level. Everyone's going to be different again, we'll all have different barriers. So maybe it's that you don't know what to do in training. Maybe you do know what you should be doing in training, like you know strength training is the way forward, but you don't exactly know how to do the exercises, or you don't know how to do a program for yourself, or something like that. Maybe you get bored easy in a gym. Maybe you don't even like going to a gym. Okay, maybe you haven't a clue what to eat, or that you feel like you have no support. There's so many different barriers that again that are going to be individual for you. But it's important if we can identify these barriers before they come up. Well, now we have a contingency plan. We have a backup plan. So we're not going to get thrown off when something like this comes up, because we're going to already have it addressed. The pyramid that you're seeing here in front of you is the performance and body composition pyramid, or basically how to look and feel shit hot. So what you're going to see is there's 3 levels. We've sleep, on top of that we've nutrition, and on top of that we've training. The higher that peak can go, the better your body is going to look, and the better your performance is going to be as well, if that's your goal. So it's important and vital that you build the biggest base in order to have the highest peak. Imagine if I told you there was this magic pill out there that made you lose fat faster, it made you look younger, made you feel more energized, you had more energy, you became smarter, and you had less stress levels. You'd jump at me and you'd grab this pill out of me with 2 hands. Well, the funny thing is there is this pill available, and that pill is known as sleep. Okay, sleep is the most important factor in the triangle when it comes to determining the way you look and the way you perform and the way you feel. Okay, here's what happens when you don't get enough sleep, and it's why it's that important. You get dysregulated hormones. Okay, and in particular these hormones here, ghrelin and leptin. Ghrelin, known as the growling hormone, is responsible for telling your brain how hungry you are. And it's the main reason that you might be predisposed to having these late night binges. Okay, so you know when you're sitting down on a Friday and Saturday night and you just so happen to stay up a little bit longer than you normally do during the week, that's because you probably have a spike in ghrelin. Your body doesn't know whether it's hungry or whether it's tired. And so it thinks it's hungry, and you just go feed yourself with foods that contain the most calories in them. Your body will also get a dysregulation in the hormone called leptin. Leptin is basically like your body fat thermometer, so it tells your body how much fat, body fat percentage you have, and whether or not to increase or decrease your overall appetite. When you get insufficient sleep for too long, what happens is your leptin levels increase, which puts you into a state of telling your body to store fat because it thinks it's starving. It's crazy. And then we also have things happen like blood glucose level increases. So if you actually get less than 6 hours sleep a night, what happens is that your blood sugar levels increase, which means that it's like you're going around eating bars of chocolate and cakes and sweets and getting a spike in your sugar levels without actually getting to eat the goddamn things. And you're sleep deprived, so it's no fun, and you're just gone into this constant fat storing mode. Okay, and then the last thing about sleep is that it impairs your cognitive function. Okay, so you make bad decisions when you sleep less. And that's when it gets really hard to make the right decisions, like, say, preparing meals, or again, going to bed early, or maybe it stops you from going out and training because you're just too tired and you make silly decisions that you know that should help you get to your point B. How much sleep do you need to get? At least 7 hours per night, and ideally 8. If you are in a situation where you can't get 7 hours, well, then just do the best that you can. Okay, so we can't all live in this perfect and ideal world. Most people can get over 7 hours, but if you do have young kids and they do keep you up, say 3 or 4 hours a night, well, then just do the best you can. The next most important factor in determining your body shape is your nutrition. Okay, so the food that you put into your body is going to be so important to your success. A lot of people get so confused about this. Is this food good? Is this food bad? Okay, nutrition is actually probably the most simplest thing of the whole pyramid. Okay, just eat real foods. So the less processed food you eat and the more real food you eat, the more your chances of success. And what eating real food will also do to you is that it comes back to this hormones. It'll auto regulate your hormones. So eating the right foods tell you when you're full, tells you when you're hungry, tells you how much body fat percentage to store, and tells you how much muscle to hang on to and stuff like that. Okay, so the number one thing that you should take away from the nutrition section is just eat real food. This picture is from one of the nutrition workshops, actually the first or the second workshop that we gave to some of the girls, just showing them exactly what they need to eat, how not to count calories, and how not to get too bogged down and overwhelmed by nutrition. So again, this is simple if you let it be simple. So here's the kind of rules or guidelines that I give the girls that they can base their meals off of. This is from our online nutrition course, Precision Nutrition, which is also available to you guys as well if you are a member of the gym. So, the way we want to construct a meal for women is eat 4 times a day based on the portions that I'm about to show you. And this will put you in a certain calorie range, which is going to make you lose weight and tone up, look and feel super fit and super healthy. And the best thing about it, no calorie counting, no sins, no points, or any of that BS. So, you've got to have a piece of protein the size of the palm of your hand. So this is going to include lean steak, red meats, turkey, fish, egg whites, chicken, cottage cheese, Greek yogurt. Okay, not solely restricted to that list. So if you're stuck, just Google foods that contain the highest amount of protein, and you have to put a piece of protein the size of the palm of your hand on your plate. That's the most important thing. Next one, you want to be putting 1 thumb of healthy fat on your plate. Healthy fats are things like nuts, seeds, avocados, olive oils, coconut oils. Okay, these can be used for cooking in, or they can be used as addition afterwards. The next thing you're going to put in your plate is 1 cupped handful of healthy carbohydrates. So holding out your hand, make a cup out of it, and that's going to be the amount of carbohydrates that you're going to eat. Healthy carbohydrates include things like berries, fruits, oats, rice, sweet potatoes, and things like that. And finally, we're going to add 1 to 2 fists of vegetables and or leafy greens to your plate. These are going to provide so many nutrients, so many vitamins, so many minerals, and will keep you fuller for longer. So you know what vegetables are: beetroots, cauliflower, carrots, legumes, spinach, lettuce, things like this. So 4 times a day, if you can put them together, 1 palm of protein, 1 thumb of healthy fats, 1 cupped handful of carbohydrates, and 1 or 2 fists of vegetables, that is pretty much all you need to know to look and feel your best. The idea is to change the way you eat entirely and not just let this be another quick fix and another diet. The main reasons diets fail are twofold. It's either a biological reason or it's a psychological reason. And they obviously interact with each other, so it's never solely one or the other. There can be an interaction between the two. But just for this purposes, a biological reason Why you fail a diet is because the hunger signals just become too great. Your leptin and ghrelin levels will also increase when you're on a diet, and your body is smarter than you are. It's not going to just starve to death. So it's going to seek out food, and it's going to seek out the most calorie dense foods, which are going to be generally your more processed and junkier types of foods. And the second reason, then, the psychological reasons diet fail is because when you say to yourself that you can't have, or that you're not allowed, or that you're on a diet, this immediately puts you into a state of restrictiveness. And restrictiveness is the biggest psychological reason why you're going to fail a diet. So what we do, and we tell the girls in the gym to do, is if you can base 8 out of 10 meals from the pictures that I've just showed you, well then it doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things what the other 2 meals are, provided they're normal looking meals. Okay, so remember back when we said that if you wanted to lose 10% body fat, that it's going to take you approximately 20 weeks to get there. So slow the hell down. Stop trying to do everything in 3 and 4 weeks. And let yourself enjoy the foods that you want. Have your wine, have your chocolate, have your crisps, have your cake. But just eat them on 2 out of every 10 meals. And that's how you're going to get success, because you're not restricting yourself and you're not on a diet per se. Let this food become a part of who you are. And the final piece of the puzzle is what type of training you should be doing. Okay, so in the last couple of slides, I'm going to show you exactly what training that you should be doing to get the body that's going to look the best and perform the best, as well as how much of each type of training that you should do. So what we can do is we can split training into 3 types. We can split it up into strength, HIIT or high intensity interval training, and then you have your cardio or your aerobic capacity training. If you're wondering which one to do, why don't you say all 3? So we've the biggest problem now you'll see on internet blogs and stuff that the majority of people are either in one block or another block. They're either saying that strength training is the best, or you get the women that are saying, no, it's all cardio. Okay, a mixture of both is going to see the best results. And here's how to do it. For the strength training allows you to get stronger. This is going to increase the toned look on your body. A lot of women have a perception of strength training as meaning bodybuilding training and growing their muscles, which is completely and totally wrong. That is an entirely different thing. One of the bigger mistakes as well that women will make is that they'll train with lower weights but higher reps. Do you know who else trains lower weights and higher reps? Bodybuilders. So make sure when you're doing your strength training, you're keeping the reps low, but you're trying to add more weight each week. Stay away from machine-based exercises and use free weights only. You need to train body movements and not body parts. So you need to train the squat, a hinge, which would be stuff like deadlifting and kettlebell swings. You need to do pushing exercise, pulling exercise, and loaded carries, which basically just means carrying a heavy object for a certain distance. The wrong way to think about training is training your legs or bum or shoulders. Okay, so we don't want to train specific body parts, because again, that's what bodybuilders do. And you know you don't want to look like a bodybuilder. You want to look toned and defined. Strength training also gets mixed up with women when they think about it. Strength training is not the picture that you see here on the right hand side, where you're just lifting tiny little weights. Okay, that's not going to demand your body to change. Your body isn't going to react at all to this stimulus, and you probably might as well just stayed at home on the couch and did nothing and lift your water bottles. Strength training means demanding your body to physically adapt, to lay down more muscle, to lay down more bone mass, and to get strong, like the girl on the left is doing. The best way to increase and measure your strength is through doing barbell exercises. Okay, so this girl on the left here is lifting a barbell. This is a deadlift exercise. And this is the best way to measure your strength levels. So you should be doing a squat with the barbell, a deadlift with the barbell, a bench press, an overhead press. These are the main strength exercises that you should build your program around. The next type of training that you're going to want to integrate into your own training is high intensity interval training, or HIIT. Basically what HIIT is doing a series of intense exercises followed by a break, and then you're just kind of repeating this. What this does is it allows you to work hard, rest a little bit, and then work hard again, and it keeps the intensity up. Why is it important to keep intensity up? Why not just do cardio? The reason is because of this thing called EPOC. Okay, EPOC is known as exercise post oxygen consumption, otherwise known as the afterburn effect of high intensity interval training. So basically what's happening is when you do high intensity interval training, you're trying to consume more oxygen, okay? And oxygen is responsible for burning calories. The more oxygen you take in, the more calories you burn. When you do one of these HIIT sessions, your body becomes in debt to oxygen. Okay, so it has to pay back its oxygen debt because it didn't receive enough during training. So 2 days or 70 or sorry, a little bit more over 2 days, 72 hours after you do one of these HIIT sessions, you have to pay back your oxygen debt, which means you burn more calories while you're sitting on your couch 2 days, 3 days later after you've done a HIIT session. And that's why it's gotten so much popularity, because it gives you really good results in a really short amount of time. And the reason why we combine strength training with high intensity interval training is that when we get stronger, we can do more efficient and harder high intensity interval training sessions, which does what? It makes us work harder, which increases the EPOC levels once again. So that's why it's important to have a combination of the two, or a combination of the three, as you'll see in a sec. When it comes to doing HIIT sessions, it's the intensity that counts and not the duration. So you don't need to be going and doing an hour of a HIIT session or more. Some people go to fitness classes, do 2 fitness classes in a row. They'll do a spin class followed by another type of high intensity class. Okay, that's not going to give you that much benefits, only run you into the ground. When you're doing this training, harder but shorter is way more effective at raising those EPOC levels afterwards. And the final piece of the puzzle is cardio, okay, or aerobic capacity training. Cardio is really good for building up a big fitness base, but the only thing about it is that it won't tone muscles. Okay, so it will help you to recover better from your HIIT sessions and your strength training sessions. But as far as making you look leaner and looking more toned, it's not going to do a good job for doing that stuff. Most women, the majority of women in gyms especially, will resort to getting in better shape by thinking they've got to do cardio. 30 minutes, 40 minutes, 60 minutes. They think the more they do, the better. They'll travel from the Stairmaster to the treadmill over onto the stepper. Okay, and if your goal is to look better, this is definitely not the way to go. And that's why strength training is gone so popular in the last couple of years, because women are starting to see the light and understand that strength training and HIIT training is so much more time efficient and you get better results from it. But that's not to say there isn't a place for cardio in your training program. Most people think when they think of cardio as long boring runs, slow long runs on the treadmill, outside and on the stepper. But it doesn't exactly have to be like that. The way that we get the guys in the gym or the girls in the gym to do their cardio is by using weights. Okay, so cardio is just doing work at a certain intensity level. So you should still be able to talk. It should be over, say, 30, 40 minutes long. It should make you break a sweat, but it shouldn't be difficult at all. Okay, so when you do your cardio, bring in things and improve your technique. Say you do 10 kettlebell swings, take a minute break off. Go do 10 squats, take a minute break off. Okay, do easy things that'll get you a little bit out of breath and just repeat it over 30 to 45 minutes. What I'm going to show you in tomorrow's email is a video of how to do cardio in a much better way. That's going to target your abs and your stomach in particular, and it'll make the whole process of getting in better shape a lot quicker and more efficient. Okay, which is the whole idea of making this video, is to make everything quicker and more efficient. Is how many times a week do you need to be doing this stuff to actually see a positive effect? Well, first of all, it comes down to obviously how much you can actually afford to do. But the benchmark of this is 300 minutes per week of this type of training that I just mentioned. So that's 5 hours in total, which is really, really manageable. And if you're not there yet, and if you're only doing 1 hour or 2 hours at the moment, well then build it up slowly until you get to your 5 hours. You don't have to go from 0 to 5 in a space of a week. Okay? Start bringing this stuff slowly as the weeks and months go in, and then it'll become more of a habit. So here's the way that we want to break up our training in a week. We want to do 3 strength training sessions that last about 45 minutes. We want to do 3 high intensity interval training sessions, which can be broken down into 3 15-minute blocks. And what we'll do in the gym is, in the fundamental body, is each class lasts an hour long. So the way we do it is there's about 45 minutes of strength, and then the last 15 minutes we'll do one of these HIIT sessions. So we're getting both best of both worlds within the hour. And then what you also want to include, if you do have time for, it's going to help with recovery and does help promote with fat burning, is doing some cardiovascular work. Okay, so the rest of the time we have remaining is 120 minutes. You can divide this into 3 40-minute blocks or 2 hour blocks, whatever way works best for your schedule. And remember, I'm going to send you on a video tomorrow on how to do cardio a little bit smarter and more efficient that gets better results. So that's a total of 5 hours during the week. It's really, really manageable. So here's an example. These last couple of bullet points here's an example of what you can nearly expect from yourself to get the best results possible when combined with adequate sleep and good nutrition. Let's say Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you're doing your strength and conditioning training, your strength and your HIIT training. And then your Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, you wake up in the morning, you come home after work, and you do 40 minutes of this cardio. And that can be done either in your house, or you could go to a gym, or you could do it outside. Here's some success stories from a couple of girls that train at the Fundamental Body. The first girl that you see here is Tracy. Tracy says, "My biggest concern was weights. I was never one to go to the weights area of a gym and always felt intimidated and nervous of doing it wrong. Always so just stuck to cardio machines. My figure has completely changed. Feel in the best physical shape I've ever been in." Okay, so Tracy was a typical woman that would have stuck to the cardio stuff because of the fear of not knowing exactly what to do with weights. I can't remember if she did or didn't know that it was the right thing to do, and that's why she avoided it, because she didn't know what to do, or was it because that she thought cardio was the best? But either way, Tracy has gone from zero experience lifting weights to being totally awesome. And one of the things that sticks out most in my memory of Tracy saying to me is the fact that she's so happy that she got her abs back, even though she never thought she would after having 2 kids. The next girl down the bottom is Laura. Laura says, "I started at the Fundamental Body 4 months ago after having my first baby, so weight loss was my main goal. The class turned out to be completely different to what I expected, but in the best way possible. I have never lifted weights before this and was really shocked at how enjoyable it was and how quickly the inches came off. Okay, and this is another really good example. And actually, in fact, the most of the girls coming in don't have experience lifting weights. Laura came in with zero experience lifting weights. She would have done stuff in classes, fitness classes. I think she did triathlons and stuff before as well. She came into us 4 months after having a baby. No experience, took to lifting weights like a duck to water, and now she's one of the strongest, most athletic, and fittest girls in the gym. So these are two girls that I'm really, really proud of. Have understood now the importance of doing strength training, combining with HIIT sessions, and then if they've time, they'll do a little bit of cardio as well. I hope you got a lot out of today's video, and just before we finish up, I just want to tell you about the Bulletproof Body project that we're running. It's starting on the 5th of September. Basically what it is, it's a training program and nutrition program and mindset program that combines pretty much everything that we've gone through in this video. So if you want me to take the hard work out of it for you and tell you exactly what you need to do and make sure you show up and keep you accountable, well then this is the program that you want to be on. When does it start? It's starting on the 5th of September. How many times a week is it? It's 3 training sessions per week, and that then turns to as many as you want after October the 1st. What you'll have to do is, the times available are 7 o'clock Monday, Wednesday and Friday, and 10 a.m. on the same days. After those 2 weeks of introduction, you will then have access to any of the classes available on a timetable, which I will send you in an email after this. Or you can check it out on www.fundamentalbody.com. The investment is $31.50 weekly, which you can stop at any time you want. You're not tied into a contract. You just need to give us a week's notice and tell us that you're not happy with what you're receiving. And there is a added bonus for the first 5 women only. Okay, so these are action takers. If you are interested in what we just went through today, and you are interested in getting results, getting to your point B as quick as you can, there's a back, neck and shoulder massage for you, for the first 5 women only. So just to sum up exactly what you get, if you do join the Bulletproof Body program, you'll get home cardio training sessions to speed up your fat loss and increase your fitness in a shorter distance or shorter space of time. You will get a space on our online nutrition coaching system that builds habits rather than lets you go and do another diet, last 3 or 4 weeks, and you just fall off the wagon again, only to start over, and this endless cycle just repeats. So we're going to nip that in the bud, teach you how to eat through building proper healthy habits. You'll also get a space on our nutrition workshop. There's also a few other workshops in there. These again teach you how to eat and makes things stupidly simple for you to understand, cutting out all the confusion. We'll give you squat, bench and deadlift technique manuals that will teach you how to lift correctly. There's also videos of all the exercises that you need to do during the program, and you'll get weekly mobility and movement videos to help keep you injury free and unglue you from your stiffness that you'll get from sitting down in your office chair or in your couch for so long. So what you got to do to secure your spot? Really easy. Click the link in the email that follows this. You'll have a link that will send you to a page to secure the deposit, and you'll also have the body fat calculator in a link as well. After this, we're going to arrange a one-on-one private strategy session so you can be ahead of the game before you come in on the 5th of September. I really hope you enjoyed again the webinar series, and if you have any other questions in the meantime, or there's something that I didn't cover, please don't hesitate to reach out for me, give me a call, send me an email, shoot me a message on Facebook. I'll be more than happy to help. Thank you.